It's always a delight to be here. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on Flipside, the other side of the news. Now, I know making the headlines is the fact that Chris Ngige came out yesterday to say there is ASU, but two other academic unions are going to be running alongside ASU, one for the dental medical students and another one like that. And everyone is thinking maybe that's what we're going to talk about on the show today. Well, Nigeria is plagued with so many problems. Since we gained independence in 1960, we've had a lot to deal with. We've had so much struggles. We've had economic crisis, inflation. We've had even war. Yes, the Biafra War, the Civil War, and all of that. Today we'll be focusing our gaze on Nigeria, 62 years after independence. We will answer some unanswered questions. Our topic on Flipside is 62 years, answering some unanswered questions. What have you done since we celebrated the independence anniversary? And for those who even witnessed the Independence Day itself, 1960, what will you rate Nigeria as so far? I have someone here, a public affairs analyst, a political analyst, a politician, someone who's even running for office this next election. I have Honorable Osez Eromosele with me in the studio today.
Thank you. I'm glad you're having me. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. All right. You know, I went to a boarding school in secondary school, and I remember that during the Independence Day celebration, because we resumed September for the first term, so Independence Day will always meet us in school. We have special meals that day. For the first time, we'll have turkey with jollof rice. So it's always a big thing for us while we're in school. But I want to ask, what's your earliest memories of the Independence Day anniversary celebration?
Wow. The question got me smiling, you know. I could remember back then when independence is just like Christmas to us, based on the family where we came from. And the moment where October 1st is coming, we're excited. We're going to eat fried rice.
Exactly.
We're going to eat chicken. We're going to drink Fanta, to be precise, Fanta. We're going to drink Fanta. You know, that was key. You know, that was the only time we could drink mineral in my house. Just that and Christmas Day. So Independence was so special. My dad don't go anywhere that day. We are all the kids, we are all at home. Like, okay, we could go for an event in school. When we come back, we're going to drink. That Fanta is key. So that mineral is key. But these days, nothing of such is happening anymore. That's it.
It's really sad. Independence Day celebration, anniversary, people did not even remember that something was happening. To make it worse, it was on the weekend. It was even on Monday that was the public holiday. Like, natural. But do you think...
It's not really because of the day that it fell in. It's because of the happenings in Nigeria. People have lost interest. Yeah, people have lost interest. Before now, you see that all over the country, people come out, put on green, white, green, and all of that, demonstrating, you know, with flags. I will shock you, this last independence, I didn't think they sell flag. They won't sell sold flag anywhere. Everybody was angry, you know, because of what is happening, you know. I walked through, you know, that day there was actually a rally for Peter Obi, this present one, and I could barely see any church coming out.
To pray. To
pray or to do their normal Independence Day or schools. Even some stadium, they were all empty where they did all this celebration. It has never happened like that. Nigeria have never had it that bad. It based on what is happening, insecurity problem, you can't get into the market, everything gone up, you know. It's really terrible. It's really terrible. Some persons feel there's nothing to celebrate about Nigeria. You get, that's just the truth.
So, but going forward, do you think we should even be talking about celebrating Independence Day, or when it's Independence anniversary, government should be maybe strategizing or doing something? Should we celebrate it?
Yes, it's our country. Okay. We have to. Because you don't have to take decide that, oh, Nigeria is not working, because of that you want to back out. No, it's our country. We don't have any other country except Nigeria. So those of us that are praying for Nigeria to be fixed, we are praying. And one day it's going to happen. And it's not long. Few months from now, Nigeria is going to be fixed. Yeah, there is great hope for Nigeria again. Okay.
Yeah. You sound like someone who believes in one man. And the man that seems like all the youths are believing in. But it's okay. We've seen there was one of our sister stations had an interview on Independence Day of Timi Dakolo. He did a song called Great Nation for Nigeria. The song is amazing. We play it all the time, and it's one of those songs that we never run out of. It's timeless. But what makes a great nation? He believes Nigeria is a great nation. If you ask the average man on the street, I don't think they will say Nigeria is a great nation. So what makes a great nation?
Now, based on the question you've asked, I will let you know now that Nigeria is a great nation in the sense that Nigeria is blessed with everything. Yeah, talk about the raw material. Everything you need in a nation is in this country. The challenge we are faced with, we have the wrong leaders leading us. That's the truth. They believe in enriching themselves in detriment of the masses. If you look at what is happening in the country today, I was reading a paper yesterday. I found out that I saw, and that got me shocked, that Nigeria just imported in yam, fresh yam from China. Yam.
We have yam.
Y-A-M, yam was imported to Nigeria. Fresh, they call it fresh yam. When I saw it, tears ran out of my eyes. We are blessed with land. We can cultivate yam anywhere. But the challenge is this. The farmers can no longer go to the bush. They are now scared because of being kidnapped. You get? So now Nigeria have gotten to a level where you now have to import yam to the country. That's terrible. But by the grace of God, it will be changed in few months' time. It will be changed. Now, you talked about that song. It's a great one. When I actually listened to that song, it got me thinking, you know, it really touched me. Like, it's a powerful song, and I believe everything about that song is coming to play soon.
Okay. Let me join you to believe that too.
Yeah.
By your assessment, were we ready for independence as at the time we got independence? Because I've heard several people call on radio to say, I beg, may they can't colonize us again. Some would even say, may they not colonize us again. May military come back. This democracy is not working. But do you think we were mature enough for independence as at the time we got independence? Or we would have waited, if we had waited maybe some other 10, 20 years, maybe we would have been better off. What do you think? Not
at all. The time it came was the right time. And the time we got independence was very right. And let me shock you to know this. The moment we got independent, if you look from 1970 to 1983, Nigeria was stable. Naira was, naira was higher than dollar, almost times 2. From 1970 to 1983. A dollar was 57 kobo thereabouts when you read history. If you watch what actually happened to Nigeria, it's not about the independent, it's about the leader that came in. If you notice something when Obafemi Awolowo came in, he actually declared free education to the whole of the Western region. Free education, you just go to school, read your history, you see all of that there. You go to school, your boss pick you to school, you learn free, everything was free, you get your meal. That was Nigeria, that was after independence. What happened between that time and now? The leaders that came in. They believe in enriching themselves. There's a particular president that came in where Naira actually skyrocketed to like, I think in year 2000, a dollar was around 83 Naira thereabouts. Yeah. From 2000 to 2022, dollar now is 600 thereabouts. That's what they when you are converting, that's the range it is. So now, why am I saying this to you? It's not about the independent. It's about the leaders who came into power. And as it is now, we still have hope. We are having somebody who is promising Nigeria right now that he knows the problem of Nigeria. He knows the problem, the issues that is faced with Nigeria, and is ready to sort these things out based on what he has told us. He's the only candidate presently telling Nigeria the problem and how he is ready to solve it. That's why I'm telling you, in a few months' time, Nigeria will be great again. If some persons did this some time ago, it can still be done now.
Okay. But don't you think we are just wishing too much on one person? Like, can one man really change the course of you see, these problems we have did not start in one day. It took years. It became worse in the past 8 years from economic analysis and security-wise. Before it got to that stage, when the former Goodluck Jonathan was in power, people were also complaining. He's not doing enough. Insecurity became a big issue as well. In fact, it started in Jonathan's time with the Chibok story. And then President Buhari, people saying this is just the peak of it, is the worst. Can one man, I know most of the youth are banking on Peter Obi. The older ones, especially those in Lagos, are saying Tinubu. The Northerners, some of them are saying Atiku. But can one man really fix this country? Because this dream is big. Oh.
Okay, thank you so much.
We believed in Buhari too.
Yes, oh, that's a good one. Let me say this to you. You say, today, a lot of persons go to South Africa. It wasn't like that before. Nelson Mandela did some magic there. That today, a lot of people refer to him to like, oh, he made South Africa what it is today. That can as well happen in Nigeria. He said one man, yes, one man can do it. It depends on the principle of the man. It depends on what he wants. If you are a self-centered person, you cannot solve the issues of Nigeria. If you are, okay, look at the story. Permit me to mention the name. If you watch what Peter Obi did in Anambra, people are saying he didn't do anything, but Peter Obi came out to tell us that the major roads in Anambra was constructed by him. Peter Obi came out to tell us that when he was a governor of Anambra, every student in Anambra free education. And he had buses in every school that takes the student home. Till now, nobody has come out to say it's wrong. If he can do that in Anambra State, I believe that same man can as well face the situation in Nigeria presently. He may not be, let me tell you something, the truth is this. I was speaking with one of my friends some time ago, like last week. She worked in one of the ministry in Abuja. It was past 12. I asked, are you like, you're in the office? He said, no, that she didn't go to work. I said, why? He said, no, she was just, I just want to relax. I said, you just want to relax? You didn't go to work? He said, yes. I said, yesterday you didn't go to work. He said, no, yesterday it rained. Can you imagine all of that? And every month she's being paid. Do you get? There are some persons who have in power that things like that won't work. That's the truth. It's not just the presidency. Okay, I remember when Buhari came in, a lot of persons had hope that a lot of things to be done.
My dad was one of those.
Yes, and I remember there was one particular road in my constituency that was actually awarded to a particular lady some time ago. The moment Buhari came into power, they came to site. They started working and all of that. We're happy. Oh, the fear of Buhari is making these guys work. Some matter happened within the first year. People was like, oh, it's still the same thing, you know. Before you know, the people left the site. Before you know, everything in Nigeria started going otherwise, you know. They were like, oh, he's not the one there. Someone would say, he doesn't even know what is happening. They were now taking advantage of the age factors and all of that. Before you know what's happening, Nigeria just... So I'm letting you know now, when we have the right person in Aso Rock, Nigeria will be fixed.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to say, you know, state politics is a bit different from federal politics.
Yes.
I remember when our former governor, Adams Oshomole, was playing Edo state politics, you know. He had so much authority, so much power, so much love. And when he left states and went to national, it was a different ballgame entirely. He practically was put in a corner to an extent before he had to retrace his step and re-strategize now. Federal politics is different because you're working with people. So you believe strongly that this one man at federal level will implement what we saw in Anambra.
Let me tell you something. As a politician, you must learn to carry your people along. The moment some breaks out, you'll start having issues. When Oshomole, past governor, he did excellently well when he was a governor. No one can dispute that fact. A lot of schools was constructed, a lot of roads were done, yes. As at then, the whole of Edo was with him. We were in Edo, we saw what happened. The moment he was the national chairman, he started having fashion in Edo, and that gave him issues. Some persons broke out, that's His Excellency, the governor of Edo State. They have some issues which we don't know what happened, you know. And when governor pulled out of him, that's where the issues came. Because the governor literally was not controlling everything in the state. So, you know, there was still some person in the state like, oh, Shomole is in Abuja, he's coming. When he comes, governor will run, governor will do this, governor will do that. Forgetting he's the governor, and he's a man of wisdom. So you saw what happened. You saw how the whole thing turned. That was the issue that Shomole had. Not that he didn't do well. He did well as a governor. When he entered the national chairman, he was still doing very well. See, the primary came in a door and issues started coming up and all of that. That's where he started having issues. Okay. So if you are a governor or you are a presidency, if your people are with you, there's no way you will fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's come back to independence. What's the importance of gaining independence? Why is it so important? I mean, there are still countries who are just gaining, they've not even celebrated 10 years. So why is it so important?
Okay, that's a good one. It's important because it's the right thing to be done. It gets a time in someone's life that you have to be on your own. Even in our homes, you know. At the time, I was once under my parents. It got to a time I have to go out, you know, to hustle on my own, to go raise my family, and today I'm doing excellently well by God's Spirit. Now, having independence as a nation, it's very key. It gives you the opportunity to take your decisions, to do everything, not being lured by another country or by another man from another country. Do you get?
Yeah.
So it's very key. It's something that every country look up to. And any country today having issues after having independence is based on the persons in power. Do you get? For instance, permit me to bring this in. I was once a councillor in my ward.
Oh, okay.
In my ward, yes, I was once a councillor, and that was in Eastern Central, in Ward 4. So when I was a councillor, there are some certain things, even before I came into office, I pray to God, give me the opportunity, I will do something of this nature, I will do something of this nature. There was this particular community that before I came into office, they were not having light for the past 5 years. Like 5 years, there was not. The name of that community is Eko Iyowewe, along Uromi Road, from ACC, between ACC and Uromi. The community is along that road. You see, they were not having light for, as at then, it was like 4 years. I actually got to the community, they told me they would not be having light. Like, I really felt bad. I said, 4 years. I said, Lord God, if you can just save me, I'll give these people lights. Before long, the local government election came, and I bidded for it. I came into the picture and all of that. God helped me. I got my ticket. I won my election. The moment I got to office, I went to that committee. I told them, in 3 months, I will give you pole transformer. That 3 months, I wasn't able to do it. I was restless. I have to source for the funds. I have to be on my local government chairman and all of that. The 5th month, I was able to give them transformer. I gave them transformer. Today, they are enjoying the lights. Not just that, I said, okay, not just give them transformer. I realized the whole poles there, they were wooden poles. And even when transformer is being given to them, one rain, it will cause the whole thing to blow off. First of all, I have to change all the poles. Yes, 42 poles. One was 38,000. I have to change all the poles before bringing the transformer. And today, they are enjoying all of that. That's the result of independence, you know. Someone like a country who is free, you bring in your people to rule you, not someone coming from out taking decisions of what will benefit his own country in the detriment of people in the cities of the country. No. Independence is a blessing to every nation. Yeah.
Okay. You're a young person. Most of the youth are behind Peter Obi. It's no longer a secret. I know there was a rally too on independence. No, the day after independence for Tinubu in Lagos. There were women, and there were some on top of the bus, there were some on the ground, and people were just talking about it. The crowd was also huge, although it wasn't nationwide like the Peter Obi rally. But I would ask you this personal, as a personal question. Do you think youths are supporting Peter Obi as a person, or they're supporting Labour Party? Yeah,
that's a good question. Truth need to be told. Sorry. If you notice what is happening in the country today, don't forget that Labour Party have been in existence for years. It didn't just come up now. Do you get? It didn't just come up now. If you look...
Belly fat is an excessive fat in the abdomen and around the stomach. It looks odd when you wear tight clothes and causes embarrassment. In fact, it's difficult to lose flaps from the belly region. Many people try to lose belly fat by eating less or famishing themselves, which is not at all a good idea and may result in several harmful side effects. The worst part is that The dream of getting flat and slim stomach remains elusive even after taking exercise and a healthy diet, because we, out of sheer ignorance, make many mistakes which shatter our dreams of getting a flat stomach. But worry no more. The healthy way to trim down your tummy is to use natural home remedies. The first thing to do is to change your feeding habits. Banish all junk food from your diet and stick to a healthy diet. Junk foods like pizza, burger, noodles, processed food, and fast food like soft drinks, fries, and pastries have a high caloric value and are too unhealthy. Reduce sugar intake, beers, and carbonated drinks. They cause bloating. So, for getting flat stomach, you have to stay away from them. Reason being that most junk foods are laden with high amounts of processed carbohydrates and sugar, the main cause of bulging and fat tummy. Banish all junk foods from your diet to lose weight from the stomach and to get a flat tummy. Now that you have banished junk from your diet, replace them with healthy food and vegetables. We can afford to make you hungry. Eat more raw foods like fruits. You will find that they are so much tastier and satisfying than cooked food. It detoxifies the body, makes you feel light and healthy, and over time you won't even feel like polluting your body with unhealthy food. Let your diet include watermelon because it contains 82% water, which helps your stomach not to crave for food. Watermelon is rich in vitamin C, which is beneficial for health. Cucumber also could be included. It contains 96% water and 45% calories. Add cucumber in your diet as a salad or eat raw cucumber to get a flat tummy now. Avocado is another useful fruit for burning excess fat. Avocado is rich in fiber and monounsaturated fatty acids. Use avocado to replace margarine and butter. Another thing is avoid fried foods. But if you must fry your foods, go for oils with high concentration of monounsaturated fats MUFAs like soybean oil and olive oil. Let your diet include nuts rich in fiber like walnuts, peanuts, and almonds. Still talking about your feeding habits. Stop eating late at night as it causes accumulation of fat around your belly. Try to eat at least 2 hours before you go to bed to keep the stomach fat away. Avoid overeating. Large meals put a lot of load on the stomach and intestine. It reduces your digestion. Chances are that a lot of food will be stored as fat instead of used for energy, especially if you are not physically active. Eat slowly and chew each morsel well. It will control the amount of food you take and make you feel satiated early. You must follow this tip to lose fat from your belly and get a slim, flat stomach. Away from your feeding habits, drink lemon juice. Lemon juice on a daily basis will definitely reduce belly fat soon. Add lemon juice in a glass of water, a pinch of salt, garlic, and ginger. Stir it well. Drink this every morning in order to reduce belly fat. Green tea works as a detoxifier which helps in burning the excess body fat. Consuming green tea daily will also make your skin glow as well as make your tummy flat. You should also drink plenty of water. Water helps in reducing weight. Drink at least 8 glasses of water a day. This will not only flush the fat but also make your skin shiny and glowy. Your hair will become healthy. In fact, your whole body will become radiant. After doing all these, you can take exercise to reduce stomach fat and tone up the abdominal muscles. Taking exercise is the best way to turn up your stomach muscles and lose weight quickly. There are several sets of exercises that will help give you a flat tummy and a toned up ab. Exercises like squats, sit-ups, dancing, crunches, and running on a treadmill. Or better still, contact a gym instructor. Don't forget, your feeding habit is the major cause of pot belly. Change your feeding habit and see a positive result. Your body is your responsibility. Take good care of it.
I have a politician, a political analyst, a public affairs analyst in the House, Osaz Erumsele, Honorable Osaz Erumsele. He's been with me and we've been talking about several things that relates to Nigeria and our future. And you know, when we're talking about the future, you cannot take away the 2023 elections that are just around the corner. So you must still talk about it. Before the break, yes, I was choking. We needed to go on a short break. It's a live studio. Before the break, I asked him a question, and I'm going to ask the question again. I talked about Peter Obi. He has a lot of supporters now. A lot of youths are talking about him. The other parties are also having lots of issues, crises, and there seems to also be Tinubu who has his own supporters, though basically the rallies I've seen are in Lagos. And I said, do you think the youths are supporting Peter Obi as a man, or they are going to extend that support to his party?
Thank you so much. If you watch what is happening today in Nigeria, Nigerians have decided to choose who leads them, not a political party. If Peter Obi, let me tell you the truth, I won't say this because I'm a Labour Party man, no. If Peter Obi was still in PDP, what is happening today will be happening there. If he was in APC, what is happening in Labour Party today would have been happening there. Why? Because of his person. I said earlier on, he is the only candidate right now telling Nigerians their problem on how he's going to solve it. I watched Peter Obi 2 weeks ago when he was speaking about the embezzlement of the crude oil and all of that. He was saying, he told us, he said, if the present government were not part of them, it won't happen. Because crude oil is not what you can put in your pockets. It's not what you can put in your handbag. It's vessels they used to ship all these things away with ships, And there are people who clear this ship to leave the country. It's not us here. It's not the masses that are suffering that does that. They are still them in government. And Peter Obi have come to explain all of this. So this is the problem of Nigeria, that he is ready to solve it. Now, let me shock you. The people you are seeing canvassing, or rather moving around for Peter Obi don't have one-on-one with them. They don't have access to him. He's not even able to control the crowd anymore. These are people who are tired. Look at those, if you watch what is happening, it's organic movement. These persons you are seeing moving, they are the poor masses. They are the graduates without jobs. They are the parents that their kids have been at home. They are the one coming out shouting for Peter Obi. They want the situation in Nigeria to change. The one that happened in Lagos, you saw what, that was arranged now. You saw the videos of what people were sharing. How can you tell me that this country that is as bad as this, you still see parents, that their children at home, they are not in school for the past 6 months. They came and they are shouting for the same party that have destroyed the nation? That's terrible. That's why prayers have to come in. Because this thing I'm seeing is a spiritual thing. And by the grace of God, it's being broken now. That's why you see youth coming out, shouting everywhere. How can you tell me this? A parent left the children at home. He's coming out to come back. Sometime when His Excellency President Buhari was campaigning for his second tenure, I remember a video I watched in Ogun State where the former governor of Lagos State, the APC candidate, came out to tell the Nigerians. On that video, he said that when we vote for them, that was the statement he made, that the Buhari is going to make $1 to 1 naira. As I'm talking to you today, dollar is over 600 naira. The same person made that statement. And he said again that when we vote for them, that they are going to ensure that 4 years course is 4 years course. These ways his ways. As I speak to you today, after 4 years, after 3 years, see what is happening. Within the space of 3 years, students have been at home for over a year. 6 months, another 4 months. That's roughly a year.
Yeah.
They've been at home. And this same person is coming to say, want to face the country? No. No. 1,000 times no. While you see the youth coming out shouting for Peter Obi, I'm not being careful saying this because I have kids. I want this country to be good. I want this country to be good. He's the only person telling us what he's said to do. And I feel such person should be given opportunity to govern the country. If you see what is happening today, people are mobilized. As 3 months ago, it wasn't like this. Before the election, you see what happened in Nigeria. 80% would declare their support for him. It's just the beginning. Thank you.
Interesting. Okay, we did a little bit of research before the topic, and we were asking what were the biggest problems Nigeria's government is facing. Yes, and top on the list was insecurity, which is not a shocker. The second was the economic crisis and inflation, price of things are too expensive, and the third was tribal and religious politics. And I'm like, tribal and religious politics? Most of them said once a Christian gets into office, it's all about putting fellow Christians in power and giving them, even if they are not competent. When a Muslim wins the ticket, it's all about getting Muslims or a townsperson, someone from your tribe. And I have to say, is that such a bad thing? If I am in government, will I not want to put my person? But do you think Nigeria, with this new hope, this magic we're expecting to happen, we can live above religious and tribal politics? And moreover, is this trend really so bad?
Okay. I will answer that question in this format. His Excellency, former governor of Anambra State, the candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, said to us, he said, will you, he threw it as a question to the masses, he said, will you not rather give your company to somebody who has the capacity to manage it than giving it to someone who is inferior? Somebody who doesn't have the charisma to govern your company, will you give your company to such a person?
No, I won't do that.
You won't do that. That's what Peter Obi asked us. He said he is not ready to come back and be giving us story. He said the moment we vote into office, that very day he will hit the ground and start running. And both of us should not be expecting such a person to start at the end of the day, after we vote him to office, start taking people from Anambra or taking people from the South to come and put them in power, even when they are not competent. It won't happen because he is coming. He has told us he is coming to fix the country and is not ready to give any of us excuses. That's what he said. And such a person, I believe him with his word, based on what he have done before now.
Okay, you as an individual, if you get into office, are you trying to say you will not consider your brothers? If I, Daisy Leo Asikidi, applies for a job and you're at the end of affairs to give that job, and your cousin from your village comes and applies, even though I applied for us, we both have same qualification, who will you pick?
Thank you so much. Let me tell you something. Nigerians today are wise. It's not business as usual. Then before now, you hear somebody say, don't worry, leave them. I have money. When it's time for election, I'll buy everybody, they will vote for me. It's not like that anymore. Because now Nigerians have seen that as these persons bring this money to come and buy their conscience, they vote for them because of 5,000, they suffer for the next 4 years. Now they have decided to vote for people based on their antecedents. Now I'm telling you, I'm contesting for House of Assembly under the Labour Party in Eastern Central. I'm able to say this, I'm able to come out based on what I have done. As a councillor, I graded road that is functioning today. As a councillor, I built 3 classrooms. They are there, it can be verified. 3 classrooms as a councillor. As a councillor, I gave a committee a transformer. As a councillor, I put 7 students on scholarship, not my siblings. Till date, I'm still out of office, I'm still running it. I could boldly come out to say, I want you to vote for me based on the things that I have done. So if I'm being voted into office today, this is just beginning. Everybody, is in the scripture. They say, write down your dream. Whoever readed it will run it. That's what the scripture says. So you have your mouth to say what you want to say. I believe one day I'll become the governor of the state. You can declare what you want to declare. Based on the goal, based on my focus, I will not want to miss any opportunities I'm giving, or rather, make people uncomfortable or trying to enrich myself in detriment of others. Now, I'm not going to office to go and enrich my family 1,000 times no. I'm going to represent the people of Eastern Central. And I'm going to do that to the key. It's key to me, I mean. I'm going to do that. I won't be biased when I get to office. I won't. Okay. If it's right for you, I'll let it go for you. If it's not, you're not going to get it. Okay, it's as simple as that.
So the very last question I would throw to you now before we go, 62 years of being free, independence, we are plagued with so much problems. Every year we are hopeful it's going to get better, but I've not been able to categorically say it's been better. It always keeps getting worse. But now we are believing that 2023 is the peak. Once we hit 2023, we're going to get it right. We believe we will get it right. But what gets barred within a long period of time, I do not believe can also be fixed within a short period. I think if you take, let me use weight gain. If you take 10 years to gain weight, you would at least spend up to 5 years to lose that weight. So it's going to be a process. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay, so while we are waiting, I know when President Buhari came in, he made promises as well and said, we are going to suffer small before we start enjoying. And we were relaxed. Anything happens, they say the past administration destroyed it, we will say, it's the past administration, they will fix it, they will fix it. And we're all waiting. But I cannot stand to say now that all of those things that were promised were fixed. Do you believe that, or what would you advise the average Nigerian, the mother at home, the people in the streets, the students who are sitting at home now, to do while we wait for all this salvation we are hoping for, this change, this transformation, because it's going to be a process? What should we do? What should the leaders who are going to work with him be doing? What mindset should we develop while we wait? Because we are going to wait. People need to know we are going to wait.
Before the election or after the election?
After the election.
After the election.
Someone has won.
Someone have won. Depend on who comes in.
Okay.
That's key. Depend on who comes in. If you watch what is happening today in Nigeria, the major supporters that Peter Obi had are the masses, are the suffering masses, are the people who are jobless. The student that ASU strike have affected. The student who graduated 10 years, 15, 20 years ago without jobs. The same people who are working in POS, graduates, the Okada men, the Taxi men who went to school, they are the one who is supporting Peter Obi. And these same persons are ready to work with him. Now, there was a write-up I saw some time ago. A certain person, a stakeholder posted that write-up like 3 weeks ago. He said something. He said, you boarded a particular vehicle going for a journey. Along the road, the vehicle broke down. You didn't get to your destination. You eventually went back home. You went back to that same park. You boarded the same vehicle the next time you were going for a journey. You went again. Along the road, along the journey, the vehicle broke down again. You came back. You made up your mind to travel again. You went to the same park when you have alternatives. You still use the same vehicle. And going again, the vehicle broke down. He now said he's only a fool the 4th time that will go back to that same company to board their same vehicle. He said, this time, let's try Peter Obi. He ended up saying, the write-up is everywhere. I don't want to start mentioning names. The write-up is everywhere. He said this time, he said, let's try another vehicle that will definitely take us to journey. Why did I say that? I said that to say this. At this time, Nigerians are wise. We have decided. Now, we have waited for like 62 years. Since we got our independence, nothing have worked. So now a man have come to tell us that the very moment we vote him to office, he will start working immediately.
Buhari said the same thing.
Yes, he said the same thing. Remember, age different. Sorry, I'm coming in from there now. I didn't want to go into all of that. When Buhari just won his election, for the first 2 years, he was literally not in Nigeria. He was always flying out. For some business, wherever, for some medical issues and all of that. A lot was happening during that period. A lot was happening. That was the challenge that Nigeria had. That's where the whole problem started from. Before he came back to try to revive, it was already out of his hands. You see bandits taking over everywhere and all of that. If you look at Peter Obi, look at all the candidates, he's very fit. He's very sound. You know, and he have told us he's going to do all of these things. Let's give him a try this time, and let's see how Nigeria goes.
Okay. Well, that's an outright campaign, I must point out. Well, I am not for any particular candidate, not at all. Okay. I'm going to cast my votes. I'm going to do my own election. I have my own preferred candidates at heart. And I believe what I believe. And I would use this medium to say Nigerians should pick someone based on their conscience. Pick someone you believe will do the right thing. Not because of money, not because you're going with the tide, you want to join the bandwagon. A lot of people are saying they believe in this particular person, so let me just join them to believe. No, do your own research. Find out about this person's before you before you go and cast your vote. We've been hearing promises, not be today. We've been hearing promises, and we're going to hear many more. Politicians promise a lot. But, well, let's see how 2023 is going to pan out.
Yeah, you see, because I am a grassroots politician, I'm always with the people. When you go and interview some persons now, you hear them say, we are not going to vote based on party. We are going to vote based on individual. You hear somebody telling you, somebody in the APC telling you, I will vote for Peter Obi. You hear a person from PDP saying, I will vote for Peter Obi. Do you get? And at the end of the day, you hear them telling you, the same person in APC telling you he will vote for Senate in PDP. Okay. The same person, a PDP man telling you he will vote for somebody in APC.
You do know that it is not all the people that you interview or you talk with that is going to say they are voting for this particular person.
Yes.
So you shouldn't seem as if it's just this particular person we are focusing on.
That's what I'm saying.
Before we go, there was a question I asked us. I'm going to hold you there. So while we are waiting for transformation in Nigeria, what should the Nigerian youth be engaged in? What should they be doing?
Okay. That is that question is big, is large. If you are telling me what they will be doing as we are waiting, it's, as it stands now, okay, if you tell me right now, you are asking me, what will I be doing the moment we vote in a new president till he starts working? Now, I'm telling you, I have a candidate.
It takes everybody.
Wait, yes. I'm telling you, I have a candidate who told us that the moment he comes into office, he will start working. So, I don't have to start waiting.
No.
That's the truth.
I will not totally accept that, because I will just be watching. Is that what you're advising youths to do? To sit and watch till he proves us right or wrong? You know, it takes, when we've started about the problems of Nigeria, a lot of the statements you said was, the leaders we've had have not been good.
Yes.
Is all the blame on the leaders we've had? Are you saying the citizens do not also have their own problems? Shouldn't they have a mindset change? Shouldn't something also be changing?
Let me tell you something. Thank God for the topic we are dwelling in. Before now, one of the beauty about October 1st is the president of the nation will address the nation. Those days when we were growing up, we all run to the TV early in the morning. Oh, His Excellency wants to give speech. We want to hear what the president has to say. If he wants to declare free education, if you want to now say fuel is from 10 naira to 1 naira, if there's something meaningful he wants to say, everybody rush to the TV to watch. But this is not like that. When you hear His Excellency want to give speech, just listen and walk away. Because you're not,
people.
Yes, some persons, I mean. Because you're not expecting to hear something nice or something new and all of that. Do you get? Now, if a new president comes in, and he hit the ground, start running, everyone will want to support him.
But what if this new president does not hit the ground running? You're banking too much on the promises of a politician. I do not believe in the promises of a politician, because politicians have failed us over and over and over again.
Not all politicians. Not all politicians. Because now, permit me to say this, we've seen a lot of governors that have done well in the states. Let me use Edo State, for instance. We see a lot of governors that have done, every person have his own style. For instance, let me come in using His Excellency, the governor of Edo State. When His Excellency Obaseki came into power, first of all, he cut down the cost of governance. How did he do that? He reduced his convoy. The first time I was being the governor drove past, I didn't know he was the one. Just 3 vehicles passed. And somebody was telling me that, was guy said, what are you saying? He said, that can be the governor. And he have maintained that style to date. That's an achievement. That's his own style. And presently, he's doing a lot. Some persons may not see what he's doing. Some persons may be attacking him based on the area they are looking from. And if you watch, he keep doing what he's doing, not being distracted. That's his own style. And we are seeing somebody coming with the same format, telling us what is set to do in the country, having the same mindset with what we are saying in Edo. So it's based on that I'm telling you this. I'm standing my ground. So I cannot now say...
We should all sit and watch.
Yes, and it's going to get better. This is the only option we have as it stands. Okay. That's the truth.
Okay, that's the only option you have.
Okay, if you say so, most of us, the majority. No, that's why you see them marching everywhere, you know.
Well, I would end the show at this point, but before I go, you know, you did say something about majority. There was a 4 million march the people we saw were not up to 4 million
Yes.
sha, but it's okay. Well, at this point, I'll personally add a few things before we leave. Nigeria is 62 years, and we will still live longer than that. You know, for a human being, if you're 62, you're already old. But for a country, you're at 62, you're not really old. You're just starting, and there's room for improvement. We've had so many problems, and most of these problems, which we've been trying to answer, leaders have not been so fair and good to us. But we, the followers, how good are we to the system? It is not the leader that beats the traffic on the road. It is a follower that does that. So even when a leader has good intention, if the followers are not willing to change alongside the leader, it makes it very difficult. And humans, as a human, you push and push. There's a level you push to. If you're not having someone supporting you, you get tired. My guest seemed to be a Christian. I remember a part in the Bible where one of the prophets, I think it should be Moses, the Lord said he should raise his hands because there was a war.
Yes.
And if his hands come down, they would lose.
Yes.
And two people had to assist
him.
So Nigerians, Nigerian youths, Nigerians in general, as we are waiting a better 63 years, while we're celebrating, we want to have new things. We as individuals need to also start changing. The change begins from us. Charity, they say, starts from the home.
Yeah.
Let's start having a better outlook towards the nation and also do our own to make Nigeria better. I'm Daisy Lirasikidi. Thanks a lot for your time. Bye.